Hello, everyone. Richard here at Calvin Wazoo, where the whip hasn't been brought down for a long time. And we are ready for another episode of Song X Song. And for this one, we're going for the Rolling Stones. And the two albums that I've picked for this particular episode are It's Only Rock and Roll, and then Some Girls. All right, so It's Only Rock and Roll was released on October 18th of 1974, and Some Girls was released June 9th, 1978. And each of these releases has 10 songs. Works really, really good. Now, as I was getting ready to do this episode, I was kind of thinking, I may already be biased toward Some Girls because I've always really, really liked that album. And also, the one time that I saw the Rolling Stones was during the Some Girls tour. I was living in Tucson at the time and saw them at the Civic Center. Fantastic show. Really was a fantastic show. Etta James was there and was so my recollection is hazy. She may have been the opening act, or maybe she just joined them, but I think she was the opening act. And then also Linda Ronstadt joined them on stage for a rendition of Tumblin' Dice. It was a great show. And then the album It's Only Rock and Roll is not one I really listened to all that much. So for whatever reason, maybe I just kind of, had no affinity to it. So going into this, I kind of thought that, I'm going to be biased in favor of Some Girls. So let's see how it actually turns out when we look at each individual song. All right, so track number 1, Some Girls, opens with the song Miss You, and then, which was a big radio hit. And then we've got If You Can't Rock Me, opening on It's Only Rock and Roll. And I tell you, this was a tough call. It really was. If You Can't Rock Me is definitely a very solid rocker. It's a great song. It sustains my interest, and I feel like I want to move to this song. And Miss You is, well, really just a classic song. It's a solid Stones take on disco. So you got to remember, this was released in 1978. Also, I have to admit that when I saw the Stones live, their performance of Miss You was just absolutely great. So, after thinking about this and listening to both the songs, I'm going to go with Miss You as the winner. So, out of the gate, Some Girls has 1 to 0 for It's Only Rock and Roll. Now we come to track 2 for these releases. From It's Only Rock and Roll, we've got Ain't Too Proud to Beg. And then we've got When the Whip Comes Down for track 2 on Some Girls. Ain't Too Proud to Beg is a classic Stones song, even though it's a cover. Their rendition of it, their interpretation of it is just really, really great. When the Whip Comes Down, it's a good song too. But, over the years, it has kind of struck me as being a little bit insincere. It's about a gay boy moving from LA, where he's called a fag, to New York City, where he's now gay. That seems to be just kind of a song storyline that's a little trite. The more I thought about it and listened to them, and I used to really like When the Whip Comes Down, but I'm going to go with Ain't Too Proud to Beg. Just really, really good rocker and interpretation of that song. So now it's tied 1-1. We get up to track 3, and we have another cover song, Just My Imagination. But then we've got the title track, It's Only Rock and Roll, as track 3 here. So yeah, Just My Imagination is another cover, and it's a decent cover, but I really don't think the Stones did anything magical or different with it. So yeah, to me, it's no contest. The winner is the titular song here. It's Only Rock and Roll. I mean, it's just so classic. It's just so classic Stones. So now we've got 1 for Some Girls, and we're up to 2 now for It's Only Rock and Roll. Track number 4, we've got Till the Next Goodbye from It's Only Rock and Roll, and then the title song, Some Girls, from Some Girls. The song Some Girls kind of always struck me as a little bit lame, and stuck in some stereotypes, especially that section where he's going, you know, white girls are this, and black girls are this, and Chinese girls are that, you know. It just, I never really thought it was all that great of a song. Till the Next Goodbye, though, is such a sweet ballad. Plus, we've got Nicky Hopkins on piano. That's just freaking great, in my opinion. So, yeah, the better and stronger song to me is definitely Till the Next Goodbye. I mean, that is just a really, really good Stones song. I like it. I've never seen them perform it live, but I think they would do a really great job with it. So now it's 1 for Some Girls and 3 for It's Only Rock and Roll. Now let's go up to track number 5, and we have Lies from Some Girls, and then we have Time Waits for No One here on It's Only Rock and Roll. Again, Lies is such a great rocker. It's just totally right in your face. It's a great jam. But Time Waits for No One is also this really beautiful, sweeping song. When I'm listening to it, I'm like, wow, this is a really good song. Time also has great structure to it. All right, Keith Richards' guitar. There are moments, a couple moments, you know, where he's ascending, and it soars. You get this feeling of soaring when he's playing. And then, of course, you still got Nicky Hopkins on piano, doing a great job with this. I think also Time Waits for No One benefits by being a longer song than Lies. So while Lies, you know, it's a good jam, it's a good rocker, I'm going to go with Time Waits for No One. So, wow, you know, Some Girls won, It's Only Rock and Roll 4, you know, and I'm like, wow, this is really interesting because I really always loved this album. I still love this album. All right, track number 6. We've got Luxury from It's Only Rock and Roll, and then we've got The Girl with the Faraway Eyes as track number 6 here on Some Girls. It's, you know, Faraway Eyes is a true classic take on country songs. And also when they performed it, when I saw them in Tucson, it was just absolutely outstanding. Luxury has a strong drive to it, though, in a very New York City feel. And that's interesting, you know, because there's a lot of New York City going on in both of these records. I really thought, though, you know, when I was listening and also going into this, I thought Faraway Eyes would dominate because it is so good. And so this decision was really, really tough. Luxury does have an edge to it that's, I can't quite put my finger on it, can't quite describe it. And so, believe it or not, as much as I like Faraway Eyes, I'm going with Luxury as the winner between these two tracks. So it's really, really, really close. You know, on another day, who knows? I might decide to go with Faraway Eyes. But yeah, this kind of really did surprise me. So Some Girls, one song, to It's Only Rock and Roll, 5 songs that when matched together, I think are better. Now the next track, track 7 for each of these records, again, the 2 songs are really, really well matched because you've got Respectable from Some Girls and Dance Little Sister from It's Only Rock and Roll. Respectable has more to it and better lyrics and also individual lines in it. There's more of them that are better than Dance Little Sister. It's a great take to me, the song Respectable, on how they went from being loathed by the older generation to becoming a band for the generation. You know, because in 1978, I mean, we're all, well, we're in our, you know, we're heading into our 30s. I was heading into my 30s. They were well into their 30s already. So yeah, it was the generation that they were appealing to, you know, in the past was a generation that hated them. So there's some good irony going on with that song. I mean, some of the lines from Respectable, like, you're a rag trade girl, you're the queen of porn, you're the easiest lay on the White House lawn. You know, just these great lines. So, yeah, for the winner in this one, I'm going with Respectable. So now we've got Some Girls 2 versus It's Only Rock and Roll 5. Still pretty commanding lead here. Track number 8. If you really want to be my friend, from It's Only Rock and Roll, and then Before They Make Me Run, which is the Keith Richards song here on Some Girls. So this was another tough one because, you know, in general, I'm not really a fan of Keith Richards' songs. Not a big fan of his voice. I love Happy, you know, from Exile on Main Street, you know, and there are songs of his that I really do enjoy, but for many of them, it's, you know, it's just so-so. But the story behind that song, Before They Make Me Run, is really quite cool and has a lot to do with a previous Canadian drug bust where Keith Richards was facing some really serious charges because he was busted with cocaine and heroin. And part of his sentence was to perform at this free show at a hospital, and also I think at the National Institute for the Blind in Canada. I can vaguely remember reading in the magazine Rolling Stone about that situation and him playing in that hospital. If You Really Want to Be My Friend is a good song. It's a decent song. But again, there's really nothing groundbreaking about it. So I'm going to go with Before They Make Me Run, the Keith Richards song, as the winner in this pairing. So we've got Some Girls with 3 to It's Only Rock and Roll 5. Catching up here. Track 9. We've got Beast of Burden. It was a big hit. And then we've got Short and Curly's from It's Only Rock and Roll. And Short and Curly's is a great jam. The line, she's got you by the balls. I mean, what a line. Great song. But Beast of Burden also is there's a really good story being told in this song. And I think over the years, I think Beast of Burden has more longevity, has more staying power. And it still has that quality when listening to it that, yeah, this is a really solid, good song. So the winner to me is Beast of Burden. Yeah, man, Some Girls is now up to 4 to It's Only Rock and Roll at 5. We're getting down here to the last song. And from with this, we've got Fingerprint File from It's Only Rock and Roll matched up against Shattered from Some Girls. Now, Fingerprint File is a great soul and funk jam. It really is. And it's actually one of the longer songs on the record. It has, I don't know if this is necessarily a positive. It's not really a negative either, but to me, it's worth noting that it has this almost porn feel to it, similar to the sound and the groove that was going on in the soundtrack to Shaft, which was released in 1971. So this is a few years later. Shattered is very different from Fingerprint File. It's frenetic. And it's also describing how hard, how just really difficult it is to make it in New York City. So while the songs are very different, it's really, really close. I guess what did it for me was the outro to Fingerprint File, to me, kind of dates the song. So Shattered is the winner to me. And oh my God, it's a tie. Some Girls 5, It's Only Rock and Roll 5. Really surprised me because, as I said at the start, I always thought this record was way better than this record. And then re-listening to this, I'm going, this is a respectable release by the Stones. A lot of really good tracks on here. And there are, in fact, a couple really weak ones on Some Girls. Still, overall, though, a great record. So there it is. What are your thoughts? But do you think my rating of the track by track here, the Song X Song, is accurate? Well, yeah, share your thoughts in the Down Under. I enjoy the comments, so please do that. Give the video a thumbs up. I appreciate that, even if you are already subscribed, because it sends that message to YouTube so my content gets a wider distribution and more people have a chance to see it. I also have, you can find me at Instagram, where I go by the handle of NewsDude76. That's NEWZDUDE76. I have a Facebook page called Kelvin Wazoo, where I post not only these videos that I make here on YouTube, but other music-related videos and articles and content. So you can follow me there as well. And always remember to pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.